slides and come back to some. I don't want to start here. Just give me a moment. I had all this set, but when I had to reset everything, it took it out. So this is our annuity portfolio at National Life, our single premium deferred annuity portfolio. And I know it looks like that it's a pretty busy slide. It looks like we have a lot of products, and we do. We have 7 single premium deferred annuities, but it's actually pretty simple. And as we go through today's webinar, you'll have a good understanding of which product is applicable to which type of client. But we'll come back at the end too, and we'll take a look at this. What you're looking at now is a bridge design for you to select the appropriate SPTA product. So within our single premium annuities, we have 2 different product types, and those product types are Driver and Zenith. So for clients that are wishing for accumulation, you would select our growth product, and we have Zenith Growth and we have Growth Driver. Those are our growth products. And if they're looking for income, so you can see on the right of this slide here, but if they're looking for income, we have Income Driver and we have Zenith Income. So it's really pretty simple. I don't want to go into too much detail over those right now, but as we go through today's webinar, you'll understand a lot more of each product and where they're going to be appropriate for your clients. And then we'll tell you all at the end here with that slide. You go back and get to where we want to be here. So we're going to start with our growth annuities. We have Zenith Growth 5, 7, and 10. With Zenith Growth, it's really designed to have high participation rates and high caps. We have some riders with Zenith Growth. We have the nursing care rider and the terminal illness rider. We're going to go into those in more detail as we get to the end of today's presentation. But those are the options for Zenith Growth. So Zenith Growth is really a client that they probably have 10 years or longer to accumulate their retirement income. And Zenith Growth is a great option because of those high participation and cap rates, it will allow your clients to accumulate potentially a lot of value within their annuity portfolio. Something that is new for our new lineup of single premium annuities is that we allow 90 days now for your clients to get their premiums into their product. So they don't have to get everything in right away. They do have up to 90 days. And then as we get to more specifics on Zenith Growth 5, 7, and 10, the minimum premium is $25,000. Again, like we said, they have 90 days to get in their funds. You can see the maximum premiums there, but we do allow up to $2 million, up to age 70, and then after that, a little bit lesser amounts. The issue age is 0 to 85, so really a broad range of clients could fit nicely into our Zenith Growth product. You can see the crediting strategies there that we offer with the S&P 500. We have volatility controlled indexes with the U.S. Fundamental and the Global Balanced. We also have a declared fixed interest account, and we also allow dollar cost averaging, and we'll go through that in a moment. We allow free withdrawals with our annuities. After year 1, they can take up to 10% of the accumulation value out without a penalty. And then you can see the withdrawal schedule. So Zenith Growth 5 is a 5-year annuity. It has a 4-year surrender schedule. A 5-year surrender schedule. You can see it starts at 8.5, and then it goes down to 5%. And then we have Zenith Growth 7, and that is a 7-year surrender schedule. and starts at 8.2 and goes down to 3. And then finally, Zenith Growth 10. It's really a 9-year surrender, 10-year annuity that starts at 8.25 and goes down to 1%. We do allow loans with our annuities, but for very specific plan types, and that's 403B and 457. All right. The riders that I mentioned a few minutes ago, we have the nursing care rider and the terminal illness rider. And then, and again, we'll go into more detail in a moment on those two, but the 403 and 457B plans allow for emergency access waivers as well. So what plan types can be utilized with this with Zenith Growth? Any non-qualified annuity, IRAs, Roth IRAs, the 403Bs like we mentioned, be it Roth or traditional 403B, SEP IRA, simple. So a lot of different plan types would fit your clients with Zenith Growth. So Growth Driver is a growth product that's really designed for clients that have less than 10 years to accumulate. We do have bonuses that are paid out with Growth Driver. We have Growth Driver 7 that pays a 7% bonus, and Growth Driver 10, which pays a 10% bonus. And again, Growth Driver has the nursing care and the terminal illness riders as well, and premiums can be contributed up to 90 days. So to go into some specifics, much like Zenith Growth Driver, pretty much the same parameters. 25,000 is the minimum premium. 2 million is the max up to 870, less amounts after that. Issue age is a little bit different, 0 to 75. So a little bit younger, but issue age there in terms of max issue, 75 versus 85. Same crediting strategies. With our crediting strategies, I did want to point out as well is that we have 1 year and 2 year point-to-point crediting strategies, and with the S&P 500, we do have a 1 year monthly sum cap option. And you can see free withdrawals again. We allow up to 10% after year 1 to be withdrawn without a penalty. And you can see the schedule here for the 7 and the 10. The 7 has a 7-year surrender. 10 is a 9-year surrender period. It's a 10-year annuity. There are more market value adjustments for early surrender. Market value adjustment, if you don't know, is just a surrender charge. So we do have that on our annuities as well. We do allow loans, same as with the Zenith, 403Bs and 457s. And then they have the same rider and the same plan types that you can use for your clients. And now we're going to talk about our income product. So a lot of clients, they're more concerned with income than accumulation. An income driver is a great option for those clients. We have Income Driver 7, which is a 7-year surrender, and Income Driver 10, which is a 9-year surrender but a 10-year annuity. So how those work, they have guaranteed lifetime income riders. So with Income Driver 10, it's really designed for clients that have less than 10 years before they want to turn on income. Because of the way the bonuses are structured with Income Driver, the bonuses are structured around the GLEAR, that the income is actually predictable. Your clients will know exactly what their income is based upon the premium that they put into the policy. Also has an income doubler, which we will review in a few moments here. But to talk more about the guaranteed lifetime income options, which we call GLEAR, how Income Driver works is that there's a 25% bonus to the benefit calculation base for Income Driver. So when we're talking about the standard GLEAR, they get a 25% immediate bonus to their benefit calculation base. So as soon as they put their money in, that goes to their benefit calculation base. It doesn't go to their accumulation value, but it goes to their benefit calculation base, which is going to be used to calculate their income when they turn on their GLEAR. So 25% up front, and then they get another 10% that is rolled up every single year for 10 years or until they turn on their glare. There is a 1% fee for that glare option. And then we have another glare option with the income driver, and that is no fee, does not include the 25% upfront bonus, but does include the 10% simple roll-up. So a couple different glare options, but it's a great way to put your client into an annuity. They're going to need money, rather quickly. Like we said, in less than 10 years, you can turn the income on right away if they want to do that. And the income is predictable because of the bonuses and how it is set. So we'll go into some examples here in a minute so you can understand how those bonus options or clear options work, and the potential of income as we go through this. So just some specs on income drivers 7 and 10. Again, like all of our single premium annuities, $25,000 is the minimum face amount. Maximum premium $2 million. With the income driver, the issue ages are 45 to 85. So obviously we're not going to start at 0. 0 would be inappropriate for a child for an income option. So this product wouldn't work for a child. But for those 45 to 85 that are looking for income and that want to turn on their income sooner rather than later, income driver is a great choice. You can see the crediting strategies. They're the same throughout our single premium portfolio. S&P, the volatility controlled indexes, the U.S. fundamental and global balance, declared account, and dollar cost averaging. Again, a 10% free out after the first policy year. And you can see the withdrawal charges there. Market value adjustments will apply to a surrender. And the riders with the nursing care and the terminal illness, the riders are available at no cost. Loans are also available in the 403B and 457 plans. As a reminder, please note that if the standard glare is chosen, there is a 1% annual charge for that. And then the no fee glare has no charge, but does not have the 25% bonus. And you can see the plan types, same plan types as with all our single premium annuities. So let's go through an example with an accumulation with income driver and the potential income. So we're going to assume a 55-year-old purchased income driver with a $300,000 is going to have a $300,000 premium, electing glare with a benefit-based bonus. So that's at 1% fee glare where they get the 25% immediate bonus to the benefit calculation base, and then another 10% is going to roll up every year until they turn on their glare. And then we're going to just compare that to an indexed annuity that has an accumulation value but does not have the bonuses and the glare option. So with the guaranteed lifetime income rider on the right, you can see day one, because of the 25% bonus, they're going to have $375,000 as their benefit calculation base. And then that 10% simple roll-up is going to roll up every year for 10 years, and that's on the initial premium. And then at the end of year 10, they have $750,000 in their benefit calculation base, and that is the amount we're going to use to calculate their lifetime income. And if you compare that just to an annuity that is going to accumulate, day one they put in $300,000. We're assuming an average 2% credit interest rate, net of any kind of charges. And then at year 10, they would have $365,000. So almost twice as much with the guaranteed lifetime income rider with income driver 10. And again, that amount is guaranteed because the bonuses are guaranteed. So you're probably wondering, so which option would be best for my client? The standard glare versus the no charge glare. So take a look at it. If we have a $300,000 contribution rolling up for 10 years and assuming income at age 65. So on the left is our standard glare. That's the glare that has a 1% fee. The benefit calculation base is $750,000 at the end of year 10, and we multiply that by the withdrawal percentage based on their age, and which is 5.65%. So their lifetime income, once that's calculated, is $42,375. We compare that to the no charge glare, and the benefit base is just $600,000 because remember, with the no charge glare, they do get the 10% roll up every year for 10 years, but they don't get the 25% immediate bonus. Same withdrawal percentage, but the lifetime income is $33,900. So you can see about $9,000 more in income with the standard glare, even though there's a 1% fee because that 25% bonus. So that bonus is really key. So next we're going to talk about zenith income. Again, for your clients that are interested in income, zenith income is a great option for clients that have really 10 years or longer before they want to turn on their income. So obviously being an income product, it's income focused. It's going to be driven by accumulation value. We pay very strong participation rates and caps with zenith income, just like we do with zenith growth. And it has an income doubler to it. Again, we'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk about the guaranteed lifetime income rider options. Again, we call that glare. With zenith income, it has a max bonus glare that pays the highest activation bonus. So what happens when your client puts their premium into the zenith income, it will continue to accumulate based upon their interest crediting strategies. And whenever they turn on their glare, depending upon how long they've had their policy, the longer they've had it, the higher the activation bonus. But we take their accumulation value and we multiply it by that activation bonus, and we're going to use that to calculate their income. That's how zenith income works. That is a 1% fee. There is another glare option called the split bonus option with zenith income. It is a 1% fee as well, but what we do with that split bonus is a balance between accumulation and income. So with split bonus, we pay a 5% immediate bonus, and then based upon your client's crediting strategy allocations and how they perform, when your client is ready to turn on their glare option with split bonus, they're also going to get an activation bonus. The longer they've had the product, the larger that bonus, but it is a lower activation bonus than with the max bonus. But it does give them activation bonus as well as an immediate bonus. So it just depends on the client, but with split bonus, like I say, if a client wants a balance between their accumulation and their income, then split bonus is a great option for them. And then the specifics on zenith income 7 and 10. You can see the initial premium is the same, $25,000, $2 million, age 35 to 75 as a max premium. Same crediting strategy options. Really nothing different to point out there versus the others in regards to the plan types and riders. So let's compare the max bonus with the split bonus so you can see the advantages of both. So the max bonus, the account value at distribution $500,000. When the client activated their bonus or activated their glare, they got 170% bonus. So what do? We multiply the 500,000 times 170%. And then by their withdrawal percentage of 5.65, and we come up with their guaranteed lifetime income of $48,025. And then with the split bonus, their account value distribution's higher. It's $525,000 because remember up front they did get a 5% bonus on their accumulation value on the premium that they put in. They get an immediate 5% bonus. So they have a higher accumulation value with the split bonus. And then we're going to look at the activation bonus as 150%. So the activation bonus, like we said, is lower with the split bonus. But it's an interesting comparison because we have a higher account value, a lower activation bonus, and the same withdrawal percentage. But if you look at the lifetime income, it's $44,000 versus $48,000 with the max bonus. So the income is lower with the split bonus. Again, a little note there at the bottom of the slide just reminds you that there is a 1% fee for both of these, and that is applied at the end of the policy year. Okay, some additional GLEAR features. We try to give your clients an opportunity to personalize their annuities with National Life, and this is one of the ways we allow that or provide for that, is that there are different income payout options. We have single life level, which is going to pay a level income until the death of the annuitant. That's going to be the highest payout of all the GLEAR options. So we have single life. We have joint life level, so it's going to pay a level death benefit until the second person passes away. The guaranteed withdrawal percentage that we use in the calculation is lower than with single life, is 0.5% lower, and it's based on the youngest person's age. So you have two spouses on an annuity. One's the annuitant, but when you select the income option, you would select joint life level if they want that option, and that would allow income to continue after the first spouse passed away. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you guys. And then we have single life increasing, which is really a hedge against inflation. Instead of a level death benefit, it's going to pay an increasing, instead of a level income amount, it's going to pay an increasing amount. So increasing income paid until the death of the annuitant with the single life, right? Because the benefit's just based on a single life for this option. The income is going to increase by 2.5% compounded until the accumulation value is depleted, and then it's going to level out. The guaranteed withdrawal percentage is lower than with single level life. It's 1% lower. So single life level versus single life increasing. Single life increasing is going to start with a 1% lower income amount versus life level, but it is going to grow by 2.5% per year. So it's a great hedge for inflation. So for your clients that think they might have a lot of longevity, maybe they're a little younger when they turn on their GLEAR, that's a great option for them, single life increasing. And then just like we have with single life level, we have the joint life level option. With the increasing option, we have joint life increasing, where increasing income is paid until the death of the second person. It's only about available for spousal joint payees. The income is going to increase by 2.5% compounded until the accumulation value is depleted, and then it's going to level out. And the guaranteed withdrawal percentage is 1.5% lower than single level life. So it's going to start out with a lower benefit, but it is going to increase by 2.5%, and it's going to pay that benefit until the second person passes away. So a lot of different options. I will send out our annuity e-kits so you guys have them. Our annuity e-kits have all this information. It'll have the product brochure, which is really the best resource for our annuities because it contains all the information about the annuity, the different payout options, riders, how the GLEARs work, etc. So you'll have access to all that to review. As promised, I know we talked about Income Doubler. Income Doubler is really very simple. It's on all of our income annuities, right? So it's not going to be on the growth annuity, but it's going to be on our income annuities. You don't have to add it. There is no additional fee for it. And what it does, it doubles the lifetime income for up to 5 years if your clients qualify for it. And they can qualify for it by making sure, number one, that the policy is enforced for at least 2 years. And if they're unable to perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living permanently, they can qualify for the income doubler. And you see those activities on the right of the slide, but they are bathing, toileting, transferring, dressing, continence, and eating. So if 2 of those 6 activities of daily living are impaired permanently, then they may qualify. There are some other stipulations. The policy accumulation value has to be greater than 0, right? So they can't have already depleted their accumulation value. Income only on a single life. So the income doubler just works on the single life income option. No excess withdrawals taken in the current policy year that they activate their income doubler, and the annuitant resides in the U.S. Another stipulation is that the income is going to be doubled for 5 years or until the accumulation value is depleted. Okay, whichever one comes first. Once the 5 years is up, then the income will go back to the previous level. It'll go back to the level that they had before they initiated the doubler. So what happens when an annuitant passes away and they have a spouse? Well, if the annuitant passes away before they've elected their income, then the spouse can continue the annuitant with the rider still in effect. So they have an elected income, it's still the accumulation phase, the spouse passes away, then the other spouse can continue the annuity as the annuitant, and they can elect income in the future. If the death happens after single life income is taken, normal death benefit options, they can take the accumulation value, or they can take guarantee withdrawal payments. They may do that until the accumulation value is depleted. So back to our slide where we kick things off. I think this will make more sense to you now with our SPDA portfolio. Is that you'll have this bridge to use to help your patient or help your client select the best product for them. But the first question is the customer looking for accumulation or income? So if they're looking for accumulation, you go down to the left-hand side. And then the next question is, are they looking for a bonus? If they're looking for a bonus, then our driver products are the only ones that have bonuses for accumulation, right? So then years until they need their accumulation value. If they have 5 years, or it could be longer, growth driver 5, 7 years or more, growth driver 7, 10 years or more, growth driver 10. So it's really pretty simple. Are they looking for accumulation? It's going to be one of our growth products. And are they looking for a bonus? If so, it's going to be driver. If they're not looking for a bonus, then it's going to be Zenith Growth, because Zenith Growth pays high participation rates and high caps. So it'll allow them to create a lot of accumulation value. So if it's 7 years, Zenith Growth 7. And if it is 10 years, Zenith Growth 10. And then if they're looking for income, it's going to be one of our income annuities. If it's under 10 years when they want to turn on their income, it's income driver 10 or 7. If it's over 10 years, it's going to be Zenith Income 10 or Zenith Income 7. So the Zenith product for really 10 years or longer, the driver product for less than 10 years. And that is a pretty good tool to have. But as you do more and more annuities, this will become second nature. You won't even have to look at this flow chart. But this, we call this our decision tree. If you're looking on your portal and you're going to Forms and Materials to order one of these, and I can send these out to you as well, but it's called the decision tree. All right, so let's go over some riders, because I know we mentioned some and we haven't gone into any detail with those yet. But we have an emergency access waiver on our 403B or 457 policies. So what do those include, or what are the parameters around that? Well, the policy has to be enforced for at least a year, and the distribution has to be approved by their plan, by their TPA, which is a third-party administrator. And if it's approved, all withdrawal charges and market value assessments, MVAs, are waived. So there be no fees or no charges if they do qualify for emergency access waiver on the 403B or 457. If they separate from service or have a disability, again, the policy must be enforced for a year, and the policy owner must be separated from service from the plan sponsor, or they can be disabled. And then we allow up to 20% of the accumulation value to be taken out in years 2 through 4 with no penalty. And then we allow all withdrawals if they've had the annuity for 5 years or longer. So it's a way for your 403B and 457 clients to have access to their money where it's really an unforeseen situation, like an emergency or a disability, or they leave employment. The nursing care rider. So the nursing care rider is another way that we allow clients to have access to their money without a fee or penalty. This is on all the single premium deferred annuities. So the driver and the Zenith products. It's available after the first policy year. And the stipulation is the policy owner is confined to a nursing facility for 60 consecutive days. So they're in a nursing facility for 60 days. They've had the policy at least a year. And then we do allow them to make withdrawals that are penalty free. The stipulation is that they can take up to 25% of their accumulation value if they're over age 76 out without a penalty, or they're younger than 76 up to $250,000. We also have the terminal illness rider that we mentioned. It allows for up to $250,000 to be taken out without any charges. It's available, at the onset of illness after the first policy year, and does require a terminal illness diagnosis that's going to result in death within 12 months. But it's a way to give them access to their money when they need it the most. Okay, I'm going to go back and just make sure we covered everything that I think is important to hit. There are a couple of other slides that I went by that I wanted to mention to you. So we talked about dollar cost averaging. So when your client puts in a lump sum, because this is a single premium product, we do allow a dollar cost averaging feature, which will spread that contribution out into the index crediting strategies over 12 months. It just gives them more diversification. It's not required, but they do have that option if they want to use it. The only caveat is you can't do that if you want to turn on income. If you want to illustrate income turning on in year 1, then it's not going to allow you to do the dollar cost averaging feature. But other than that, you can illustrate that out. But like I said, if they putting in a lump sum, they don't want it all to go in at one time. They want more diversification. You can use the dollar cost averaging feature. The minimum is $5,000 for that. Money is going to be moved into the index indexing account receives that rate in effect the month it is moved into. So, as you guys saw earlier, we have 1 year annual point to points, but we also have 2 year annual points point to point. So it would go into the corresponding month. The money in the declared interest account does earn the same interest rate as in the declared account. Or excuse me, I said the wrong. So money in the dollar cost averaging account earns the same interest rate as in the declared account. So while the money is sitting in the dollar cost averaging account, it is going to earn interest. And then when it's time for that to go out into the crediting strategies every month, then that money will be moved out monthly, and then they'll get whatever the index, however the index is performing, then they will get that credit. But while it's waiting to be moved into the indexing strategies, it will receive a interest rate that is based off the declared interest account. Any kind of money that is in the DCA is not eligible for a 403B or 457 loan, so that is something to know. And this is a pretty important feature where it says eject. At any time, the customer can request all money in the dollar cost averaging account to be swept into the indexing account on the next policy sweep day. So if they change their mind, they don't have to leave it there. They can sweep it out into the indexing strategies of the next sweep day. Again, we do allow for 90 days for all premiums to be in, so it does allow for multiple transfers to go into your single premium deferred annuities with National Life, because timing is can be different as you deal with different companies. So we allow up to 90 days to get those funds in. And you can see the different sweep dates. I don't think we need to go into that. That's really it. So I think we've done a good job of including our single premium annuity options here. You do need to complete product training if you haven't. You can scan this QR code and it'll basically take you to your agent portal to product training. If you don't want to scan it, you can just go to your agent portal and go to training, product training annuity, and the annuity training will populate. It's just a matter of reading the PDFs and just checking a box and attesting that you've read them for our annuity training. I can show you guys if we have more time. Let's see, what time is it now? I know we've actually I think we're not too bad. We're running a little behind because we started late. But if you guys have time, if you want to see an illustration or two, just raise your hand and I can show you guys an illustration. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to run an illustration, and bear with me a moment here. Okay. So can you see my illustration slide now? Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for working with me here with the technology challenges. Thanks for raising your hand. So as we get into this, this is our illustration software we call Foresight, and I'm going to run an illustration or two for you on our annuities. They're actually pretty simple to run, but there are a couple things I want to point out. So what we discussed is our single premium annuities, but we do have two flexible premium annuities. So the flexible premium annuities are indexed annuities. They have the same indexing options like single premium annuities do. A little bit different in the fact that because they're flexible premiums, we allow ongoing contributions. So those two products are called Fit Secure Growth and Fit Select Income. With Fit Secure Growth and Fit Select Income, the minimum premium is $100 a month, or $5,000 as a lump sum. So if you have someone and they don't have a large lump sum of money and they want to start an annuity, you can choose one of those and it will allow for ongoing contributions. And again, if they're interested in accumulation, Fit Secure Growth is the option for them. It's really a simple product, doesn't have a bonus to it, but does pay good participation rates, has high caps. So it's a great flexible product for those that want to have continuous premiums. And then Fit Select Income does have a guaranteed lifetime income rider, has a very similar rider to Zenith Income, where we have the max bonus GLEAR, which works the same way. They get a high activation bonus once they activate their GLEAR, and then it has a split bonus GLEAR. The split bonus GLEAR works a little bit different than with the Zenith product, in that it does pay a 5% immediate credit, but the 5% credit rolls up every year for 8 years with that one. If you compare that to Zenith Income, Zenith just gives that 1%, one time 5% premium bonus, whereas Select Income gives a 5%, but that 5% rolls up every year for 8 years and then pays an activation bonus. So, and again, similar indexing options. So you do have a lot of different choices with National Life, and I'll send you that e-kit as well, so you have those two products to look at. But let's run an illustration. So we're just going to go to New Illustration. We'll leave the state on Vermont, and let's take a look at Income Driver. And I'm sure most of you are probably familiar with our illustration software, but this left-hand column is what we use to navigate through the illustration. So we're going to start with our client information, and let's just say that our client is we can leave it on the default that our client is 55. He's got a non-qualified annuity. And say we have a client and he wants to retire right away, and he has $1 million that he's accumulated through his life. Oh, I need another zero, don't I? That he's accumulated through his life. Say he has a 401k, maybe. So I guess we should keep this consistent. So let's say he has 401k and he wants to do a rollover, and he's going to roll it over into an IRA, right? So that'll be qualified money, so we'll just select the IRA. It's not going to change anything with the illustration, but we'll do that for consistency. And he's going to put in $1 million. We're not going to allocate anything to the DCA because we want to turn on income immediately. That's when the client wants income. And then we have our choices of the interest crediting strategies. You can see where declared interest is going to pay 2.5%. And then we have our 1-year strategies, our booster strategies. We already talked about booster options, but booster options your client has to pay a 1% fee, but it does pay either a higher cap or a higher participation rate. So if we look at S&P 500 1-year point to point without the booster, has an 8% cap, with the booster a 10% cap, but there's a 1% fee. So with this particular client, because he's going to pay a 1% fee for his GLEAR, We're not going to do a booster strategy. He's more interested in income, which is going to be calculated right away, so we don't really have to worry that much about the accumulation value. So let's just say we're just going to pick a volatility controlled index and say 100%. Again, this is not going to have any bearing on his income because his income is going to be based on that benefit calculation based bonus. And then we're going to scroll down to our clear options, and we're going to select clear charge. And if you forget what that is, if you select on the left the term clear, it'll give you what the options are and explain them. All right, so getting out of that, we've selected our clear charge, and then we're going to go down to withdrawals, and we're going to select clear. And when we do that, it automatically defaults to year one. You can change that. If you wanted to wait 10 years, you could do 10 to maturity. What you can't change is the length of the income. It's always going to go to maturity because this is a guaranteed lifetime income rider. All right, and then we're going to go down to our clear customization. We're going to leave it on guaranteed withdrawal payments, and then the clear type. It's what we discussed about earlier, but those 4 options. We're going to leave it on single life level because he wants to get the highest income possible now. And where it says income doubler, again, you can click on the term and it'll define it for you, tell you what it is. But you can, if you want to, you could select yes and then illustrate the doubler. If you don't, it's not going to illustrate it, but it's still going to be on the product. That's not going to have any bearing. And actually, illustrations aren't required with annuities. It's not part of the sales process, but you certainly can use them with your clients. All right, so let's recap that again, but it's really pretty simple. We put in $1 million for our premium. We just selected our interest crediting strategy, and then we're going to go down, select charge clear, and then under withdrawals, select clear. From dash through, he wants to turn it on right away, so it's going to default to what we need it to, 1-M, so we don't have to change it. And clear customization, leave that on clear withdrawal payments, and then single life level, and go to quick view. And this is it. So he puts in $1 million, and he's going to turn on income right away. That income is $51,875, and that is guaranteed. It's guaranteed for life. Okay, and then you can see based upon the crediting strategies that we selected, the annual effective account growth rate, and it gives you the credit and interest amount every year. The charge for the clear. So there's a 1% fee. That 1% fee is added at the end of the year, so you don't see it in year one, but beginning of year 2, you'll see the charge for the clear, and the charge for the clear is included. That's already assumed when you're looking at your annualized withdrawals. Let's see here. On the far right is the death benefit. So that'll tell you the death benefit at each point in time, even after income's been taken. You can see that the death benefit is still pretty significant. And that is really an easy illustration with income driver. So maybe let's show one where we'll leave it in the same demographics, so define he's 55, but let's say he is doing $500,000 a year. We want to include the dollar cost averaging, so we're going to do 100%. So that $500,000 can be be spread out over 12 months. While it sits in the dollar cost averaging account, it's going to get the declared interest rate. And then we're going to put the money into the S&P 500. We're still going to do the charge clear, and we're going to go down to withdrawals. We're still going to do clear. The reason why we have a red X there is because we're showing, let me make sure. The reason why we have a red X here is because we're doing the dollar cost averaging account, and it'll tell you. So guaranteed lifetime income withdrawals are not allowed in year one when dollar cost averaging is used, right? But that's okay, because our client in this particular situation tells us that he doesn't want income until he's 70, okay? So we're going to do A70 to maturity, and we're going to do the same income option, single life level. And let's go to quick view. Got a quick view, but it didn't open up because it's still saying we have an error. So anytime you get an error, if you look up in the upper right hand corner where it says show alerts and click on it, it'll tell you why. It'll say the sum of the allocation percentages must equal 100%. So what didn't we do? Well, we didn't take the money out of the global, right? So you can put money in all these, it just has to equal 100%. But the system's designed to help prevent you from making any kind of errors. So then we go to quick view, and then we can see our client put in 500,000. He's not going to take any money out until he's 70, and then at age 70, his income is $76,875 for the rest of his life. But when he does put his money in year one, he puts in 500,000. His accumulation value, or excuse me, I don't want to look at that yet. So he puts in 500,000. His benefit calculation base, though, is 687,500. So why is that? That's because of the 25% bonus. Now, that 25% bonus really enhances his benefit calculation base. Doesn't do anything for his accumulation value, but what we're going to use to calculate his income, benefit calculation base, it increases that significantly. So he gets a 25% up front, and now that 10% is going to grow, or that 10% is going to be added every year for 10 years. So he's really getting the most out of the bonuses because he's waiting before he turns on his clear. And then when he does, $76,000 for the rest of his life. That's pretty much how it works. Let's run one more, and we can let's do fit secure growth, right? Because it's a growth annuity, and say we have a younger client that's a female here. She has a 403B. She's a school teacher, okay? And say she's 25. Okay, and these alerts are going to show up throughout, even before you're finished. So don't worry about the alerts until you've finished inputting the illustration and you're going to calculate it. When you calculate it, if you have an alert, then go up and look at it. All right, let's say that she has $10,000 as an initial premium to put in, and she's going to contribute $500 a month, and she's going to contribute from year one through age 64, and she's going to retire at age 65. She's going to put up 100% of her money into the S&P 500. There is no dollar cost averaging account on this one with secure growth and select income. And you don't have to show withdrawals for an accumulation product. You can if you want to. There is no glare to it, but you could show withdrawals. But we're not, and we're going to go to quick view, and you can see she put in $10,000. Oh, let me go back. I made a mistake. So I'm glad I made a mistake because it's easy to do. So I said she's doing $500 a month, but I left it on annual premium. Just make sure you have it right. So $500 a month now, and then let's go to quick view. Okay, so now she has her $10,000 that she's putting in as a lump sum, $500 a month, and she's going to contribute all the way to age till she's 65 and retires. And based on that, at age 65, let's go up to the top here, but her accumulation value at age 65 is $1.4 million. I'm sorry, $1.6 million at age 65. That's the accumulation value. That's also the surrender value. There's a Fit Secure Growth and Fit Select Income, or 10-year annuities with 9-year surrenders. So after 9 years, there is no surrender charge. So obviously, she's had this policy for 40 plus years now. So her account has grown to 1.6. That's what her cash value is. If she wants to cash it in, she can. And then her death benefit is $1.64 million. The death benefit is going to equal the accumulation value. And in this case, the surrender value. So she had some options in. She could leave it and let it continue to grow. She could do a transfer. She could do an internal transfer and move the money into an income annuity, like Income Driver, and take income immediately and get those bonuses. She could do that. She could start taking withdrawals out of it. So there are a lot of different options that she could do at this point, now that she's retired. But you can see, she has a long time before retirement, so her money really works for her, and she can accumulate significant money for her retirement. So that's really it. I know we went through a lot today. I will follow up with you guys. I'll send out an email that will have our e-kits, all the product information and brochures that you can use in your clients, and I'll send out the annuity bridge for you guys as well, the decision tree. So that's it. I do apologize for the IT issues. Not exactly sure what happened today with the IT issues, but we had a few. It looks like it can see a few questions. So the Q&A option is working, which typically that's disabled and chat is enabled. So if you do have any questions, we can take a moment to answer those. So I'll wait a minute and see if you guys have any questions. Okay. Yeah, so someone's asking how much money is it a minimum for them to put in. So for our flexible premium annuities, which are Fit Secure Growth and Fit Select Income, the minimum is $100 a month, or they could do $5,000 as a lump sum. So if they wanted to do a lump sum and not put any monthly contributions in, they could do $5,000. But if they didn't have any lump sum to put in and they wanted to start one of those two annuities, it's $100 a month. give it a minute and see if you guys have any other questions. The only other annuities that I haven't told you about yet, we do have MIGAs, multi-year guaranteed annuities, and that just pays a fixed interest rate for a fixed period of time. Tomorrow, or actually Saturday, we're going to have a brand new product with that. Before, we just offered a 5-year MIGA that paid a fixed interest rate for 5 years, and the product is called Retire Max Secure 5. As of Saturday, we're going to have a different option. We're going to have a 3-year and a 5-year. So it's a 3-year and a 5-year option. The minimum for that is $25,000, and pays a guaranteed rate, which you can see that on your portal, but I can include that in the email that I will send you guys. But the rates are different depending on the option. So you have 3-year versus 5-year. You also have 3-year with a market value adjustment option and a 5-year with a market value adjustment option, or you can get them without. If they have a market value adjustment option, it will pay a higher rate. If they contribute $100,000 or more, it also pays a higher rate. But the minimum is 25%. But it's great for clients that they are conservative. They want to make sure that they have interest crediting every single year, and the multi-year guaranteed annuity does that because it pays a guaranteed fixed interest rate. So now you guys are experts. You know about every single one of our annuities. The MIGA, right, pays a fixed interest rate. The 2 flexible premium annuities, Fit Secure Growth and Fit Select Income, and then of course a portfolio of our single premium deferred annuities, the driver product and the Zenith product, be it growth or income. Okay, guys, thank you. I'll let you go. Thank you for your participation. You guys have a great rest of your day, and have a good Friday. And I look forward to speaking with you in the future.